Unacademy. Let's crack it.
Hello, my dear audience. I hope you all are good. This is Shabana Shahab, educator for VARC on Unacademy. What do? I teach VARC, as I just said, and yes, I'm a CAT specialist. So if you are kind of a CAT aspirant or maybe SNAP, NMAT, you can just join Unacademy, and yes, I'll be there to guide you. Hang on, I just said SNAP. Isn't that why we are sitting here today? Okay, so SNAP is what? The prestigious MBA exam conducted by Symbiosis International University. That is SNAP. Many of you know about it, many of you don't know about it. And now I think about 2 months are left for SNAP. So that is like a really prestigious exam for MBA. Those of you who are aspiring for CAT will be appearing for SNAP and other MBA exams, which we call OMITs very fondly. So I'm sure there are a lot of doubts in your mind. There must be so many gray areas. Ki SNAP jo hai, is it actually up to the mark? What is the kind of ROI? मतलब उस पे है worth है इतना वहाँ time खर्च करना या नहीं? और अच्छा वो तो चलो फिर भी बाद की बात है. How do we go about taking SNAP? These are the things that I'm sure you guys are kind of getting befuddled about. Okay, so I thought चलो इसका कुछ करते हैं, इलाज करते हैं. So what are we doing today? We are going to get into a tete-a-tete with two people who actually know the ropes. How? They took the SNAP exam, and then after that, they are studying at a prestigious university, prestigious institute, which is part of the SIU. So without further ado, I'll take you over to these two handsome boys. Absolutely Nirma ka washing powder type wala boys hai ye dono, right? It's Saksham and Preetham with me today. Saksham and Preetham, welcome aboard. It's a great pleasure to have you here with us, boys. And I sincerely hope you're going to have a good time with me. Welcome, Saksham. Welcome, Preetham.
Thank you so much for that warm welcome, ma'am. It's been a pleasure for us also to represent SCIT, and in this collaboration, we are looking forward for it.
Hi, Saksham.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the lovely introduction. And we are really glad to be part of the collaboration today here. And we are looking forward to the session.
Guys, I understand you both have been looking forward to it, but what was the need to spruce up so much and come for this? I mean, do you realize how good you both look today? Dressed to the T. Immaculate. Ekdam absolutely. Kya wajah kya thi iski?
There's no such wajah, ma'am, to be honest. Like we are MBA students, right? So I mean, we have to be on spot, and we represent our college, so that's why, that's the whole purpose for it. Nothing any.
Right, perfect, great. So Saksham and Preetham. Saksham, I believe you're from Chandigarh.
Yes,
right? And Preetham, you're from Pune.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you both took the SNAP, and now you both are part of SCIT, right?
Yeah.
That is Symbiosis Center for Information Technology.
Correct.
Now, Preetham, ek khayal aa raha hai mere dil mein, pooch lo?
Yes, ma'am, pooch lo.
Okay, before we get on with the formal introductions and all, I just kind of have it there at the back of my mind and I can't get it out. So I need to ask him. So Preetham, you are from Pune. So were you always enchanted with SIU and its institutes, or was it like suddenly in a moment of enlightenment or something you realized that, okay, I need to go for it? Because aap Pune ke hain to generally ये होता है ना यार, घर की मुर्गी दाल बराबर छोड़ो, वहाँ कौन पढ़ता है, ये तो हम देख रहे हैं, बचपन से देख रहे हैं. So how, why?
Actually, ma'am, I have a very interesting story. So I wanted to join army, but due to certain limitations, I was not able to. But then I had a backup plan for joining MBA. I appeared for CAT, but then that was very disastrous for me. So the only alternative was Symbiosis. Since I'm a little, I mean, what to say, a mama's boy. So I thought that why not just stay in Pune and look for a good college. And that's where I found SCIT, and I joined it.
That's the interesting story. So finally, thank God, I got to know the reason. Saksham, Chandigarh se Pune. Why? What was the reason, the journey?
So, ma'am, I'm come from an engineering background. I did my graduation from VIT. That was in Chennai. So the thing was, I was already like away from home for 4 years while doing my engineering. And then I had in my always plan to do MBA. and to do MBA from Symbiosis. So that was obviously mean something that would be an achievement. And the thing was, SCIT provides a managerial MBA, so that was a bonus, added bonus into it. So that's why then when SCIT Pune, I got shortlisted. I made two merit lists. So that was like my only like, okay, I was like I'm done with it now. So that's why SCIT. And
All
Pune.
right. So we have these two boys who made it to SCIT. Now, before we get started with the questions and answers, I would like each of you to introduce yourselves briefly to the audience. Saksham, you go first. Tell us something very interesting about yourself.
Sure, ma'am. So I'm Saksham. I'm from Chandigarh, as ma'am already said. So I'm come from a engineering background. So I think that that is it. And I'm in the first year of SCIT, Symbiosis Center for Information and Technology. And my hobbies are that I'm really into sports. I love watching, playing cricket, football, be it any sport. I really enjoy being part of it. And I love solving quizzes and to keep information about everything about the current affairs and all that. So I'm really into it, and I'm really passionate about what I do. So that would be a
Okay,
very brief introduction about me. Yeah.
that sounds pretty good. Now, you said something about participating in quizzes and you like to keep on top of things. You like to stay aware of what's happening around you. So how do you stay abreast of all the happenings? Like, do you read the newspaper or you keep watching a lot of videos or what? How do you do it?
First of all, I'm a very active Twitter user.
Okay.
So that really helps me. And the second thing about watching news channels and reading newspapers, that are all my all other extra hobbies. So, but I think that Twitter is the best platform to stay updated about everything that is happening in
Right,
real time. So,
right. Be it any insane comment or be it like praise or anything,
right.
like, okay, what's the latest Twitter, something like a bit of news from Twitter?
So the latest news which I came across was in today morning. That was about the farmers' protest and all that, and India-Pakistan match reactions that are going ongoing.
Right.
So all that spat which is going now, they are taking to religion and all that. So I think that was something. So, so I think that was something. Yeah, I was going through, and then in the sports, because I follow sports. So in sports, so all that football news, like Liverpool won yesterday and all that happened. So,
Right.
so that
I
Okay,
also.
think
great.
I think
Yeah.
I can add one point to that. I mean, we have launched Agni missile, ballistic missile today. It was successfully launched. So I
So,
am also
so
updated.
you are also a Twitter pro.
Not Twitter pro, but then
Huh.
since I'm a defense brat, so I need to know about stuff little bit. So that's it.
Okay, but if he is on Twitter, what is your source of knowledge
Instagram pages. There are certain pages.
that
So
you have subscribed to?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
right. Okay,
that's it.
you follow those pages. All right,
Yeah.
perfect. Chalo, that was a great introduction, Saksham. We came to know some things about you. Preetham, tell us something about yourself, please.
Sure, sure, ma'am. So my name is Preetham Roy, and I'm from Pune, but I have experienced a lot of cultures in my tenure. I have been to Bangalore, I have been to Rajasthan, I have been to Jammu. So I have experienced pretty much every culture. That's the privilege of being an army bat. And my hobbies would be I love to write. I write poems, and I love to do photography as well. Also, currently, I am studying in Symbiosis Center for Information Technology, Pune, and I'm doing my first year from Information Technology Business Management, and to be precise, Information Security as my major. I think that sums up my
Oh, yes,
introduction.
it does. Good. You both are like very quite good. I mean, you both are like, what should I say? Smart, talented, definitely good looking, all spruced up, nice. And yes, I'm so looking forward to this session with the questions and answers, the questions that I have in mind for you. So I'm going to throw question after question to you guys. And I hope you guys are going to be able to answer those questions. Shall we get started? Because then
Sure, ma'am.
that is what we are sitting here for, to help our audience wrap their heads around what SNAP actually is and whether they, I mean, what kind of mindset they should have, what kind of preparation they should throw into their preparation journey, what exactly should they do if they aspire to crack one of the, crack this exam and reach one of the institutes at SIU. All right. So see, the first thing that I would like to know is the pattern for SNAP. I'm sure many people know it, but then there are many people who do not know it. So which of you would want to take this particular question? What is the pattern?
Saksham, you can go ahead.
Okay, fine. So the SNAP pattern is such that it has 60 minutes for 60 minutes for 60 questions, and there are 3 sections in that. So first section is of the verbal ability. Verbal ability has 15 questions for 15 minutes, and then we have analytical and logical reasoning, that is 25 questions for 25 marks, and then we have the quantitative ability that is for 20 marks for 20 minutes. So I think this is like the important thing, and the other important thing is that it is a negative marking as well. Every question has correct mark, correct. Every question has 1 mark for correct answer and 0.25 for negative marking. So.
Okay, so you said 60 questions in 60 minutes.
Yes,
right? So that is like pretty tight. I mean, if an aspirant starts taking the exam, that is going to be like pretty kind of frenzied for him. So what do you think is more important? Accuracy, maintaining your accuracy, or being part of that time race, running against time? What is more important?
So I'll take up that question.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, Saksham. So I believe, ma'am, both goes hand in hand, as in time and accuracy. Because while I was giving my SNAP, I was considering both as a factor, because I have given CAT as well, where CAT requires more of an accuracy part. You have ample amount of time in CAT. While in SNAP, they check the students whether that they can, how easily they can and how fast they manage this time. Choice of question depends on that part. So I guess it depends both, and it goes hand in hand, time and accuracy. And time management plays major role in SNAP exam.
Yeah, so time management plays a major role. And as you said, yes, you said in CAT, you've got ample time. Maybe compared to SNAP, yes, there is a little extra time, but otherwise, even in CAT these days, it's about time and techniques. There is time management. There has to be time management even in that. So basically, see, what I can understand is that even in SNAP, similar to CAT, even in SNAP, time is extremely important. And then we have got other exams also. I'm sure you guys must have taken or at least heard about NMAT, which is again a race against time. Okay, so these days, what students need to understand is that just being able to answer the questions is not enough. I mean, if I give that question sheet to, let's say, somebody who is an average student, even that person can take 3 to 4 hours and finally get through all the questions. So that is not the big deal. The big deal is doing a certain set of questions, maintaining accuracy along with it, and finishing it in the stipulated period, in the stipulated time that has been given to you, right?
Absolutely.
Now, that brings another thought to my mind. So do you have like a kind of a certain limit or a time limit for every section, or you can shuttle between the sections? What is it like?
Yeah, go ahead, Saksham.
Yeah, so this is one of the main difference between CAT and SNAP. So CAT has a sectional time cutoff for time limit for every section. Like I think this year it is 40 minutes for each section. But the thing with SNAP is there is no time limit. So student can plan accordingly. Like if a student wants to give his quant first, if he wants to attempt verbal section first. So I think this is a bit pretty advantage, I would say, because everyone has a different thought process and a way of giving exam. So I think this is one important strategy that they can decide. So
yes, good. Actually, that's really an advantage, because if you know that your forte is verbal ability, so you would definitely want to do that first while your mind is fresh, and you would want to score maximum in that section, then maybe move on to QA, and in the end, let's say if DI is your weakest section, that reasoning section, whatever you have. Yes. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a sectional cutoff? I mean, when the scores are being evaluated, are there sectional cutoffs?
No, ma'am, there's no such sectional cutoff in SNAP. So basically the SNAP score are evaluated. I mean, they are scaled down to 50, where it includes your GE-PI-WAT, basically group exercise, personal interview and VAT, and finalize with the written exam score. So it is scaled down and there's no such sectional cutoff as such.
Okay, so if there is no sectional cutoff, you think it's an advantage or a disadvantage to the students?
I think it is pretty advantage for the students because they can play around and shuffle around the section to section, whichever their area is stronger. Suppose they have.
But then the thing is, if they don't have a sectional cutoff, they are going to focus a lot on GEPI and VAT, right?
Yeah, but then you have to score, you have to achieve certain percentile also. That percentile will be achieved when you score more.
Okay.
Yeah, so, though there's an advantage, but then that's not so simple also for them.
Okay. So like, what was your percentile, if I may ask?
Yeah, so I secured 78 percentile. So basically, I attempted two, one in December and one in January. So we have 3 windows, which from where we can select 2 out of 2. So that's also an advantage for students who believe that in their first attempt they couldn't perform well. They have a certain amount left to prepare for the third attempt or second attempt. So that's the beauty of SNAP.
No, so you took the exam last year, right, Preetham?
Yeah.
Yes. So last year when you took the exam, was this system in place of giving a student 2 opportunities? Was this already in place?
Yes, ma'am. It was already there. It came from last year itself.
Yes. Okay. So you think students got a big advantage because of this system, that if you are given like 2 opportunities?
Yes, ma'am. That's a big advantage for them.
Okay. Saksham, you also took the SNAP, of course, last year. Now, if I may ask you, which is your favorite section, like VARC, quantitative analysis, or reasoning? Which one is your favorite section?
I would say, ma'am, quant section was something that I really looked forward in SNAP, especially because I was able to solve almost all the questions in that section. And then I would say analytical and logical reasoning.
Nahi, matlab verbal ability last mein. Matlab you are sitting in front of a VARC educator and saying that no, last mein. I don't know why everybody, almost everybody, 10 में से अगर लिया जाए ना 8 लोग steps sisterly treatment VARC.
It's opposite for me, ma'am. I would say choose VARC first because parajumbles and parts of speech, figure of speech, grammars, and reading comprehensions, those you can solve in 15 minutes and you can attempt all the questions and maintain accuracy as well.
Wow. Where do you get your English from? Pata to chale.
Just reading stuff, watching movies, that's it.
That is good. That's a good thing to hear, because this is exactly what I keep telling my students the whole year. Read karo, read karo, read karo. Students don't get that point.
Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't be, just like read for the reading purpose. You should read for fun, and eventually it will develop.
Yes.
So it's a long process.
And Saksham, I guess you hate reading, right?
Ma'am, I like reading, but not in that much.
Right. So what reading? What, like, besides love letters, what other things do you read?
I think I would just say newspapers and some articles, some really interesting articles, especially about sports, I would say.
You would go mainly into the sports section and you would lick up all the sports articles, right? Uske ilawa duniya mein kya ho raha hai jaan do bhai, mujhe mat batao, rehne do, chalega. I can check it on Twitter. Zarurat nahi mujhe itni reading karne ki.
And then Twitter has 240 character limit. So that is also one thing.
Right.
I think that's the beauty of SNAP. And in CAT, you get such a long passages, and in SNAP, you won't get such long passages.
Yeah.
So you can plan accordingly and prepare accordingly.
Right. So, okay, did you boys appear for CAT as well?
Yes, we appeared.
You did. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with no offense to CAT, of course, because I'm a specialized CAT educator, I'm asking you, like, okay, what do you consider? I mean, how would you compare if we juxtapose CAT and SNAP? What would you say? Anything, any opinion it can be. It can be like, what should I say? Very difficult and easy, or it can be in any other language or any other way. Just let me know. How do you juxtapose these?
Okay, so I will
Section, yeah.
start with, yeah, I will start with. So the first important thing was about the sectional time.
Huh?
That was really important because the like in CAT there's a lot of pressure. Like you have to finish it in 40 minutes, I guess, one section. And in SNAP there is like you have the full freedom to scroll in between any sections you want. So I think that is one important thing. And then we have about the like SNAP. We have 3 windows, as Preetham already said. So I think that
Yes.
is also one advantage. Like I planned my first in December, and then I planned my second attempt in January. So I could work in between, like what are my shortcomings and all that. So I think these are some of the differences which I think of right now. So,
Good. What about you, Preetham?
So I would say that both are, I mean, both are, I mean, they're absolutely beautiful exams, I would say. Target set of different colleges. SNAP is mainly for symbiosis and CATs, as all know, IMs.
Yeah.
I would say those who are planning for CAT must give SNAP because they might feel little easy comparative to CAT, but then it's not that easy also.
Right.
Time plays major role in SNAP. So yeah, that's my take on it.
Okay. So yes, even I feel the same. See, I do specialize in CAT, but then what happens is once the students are done with CAT, I take other courses for like SNAP, NMAT, IFT, ZAT, TIS, CMAT, then Maharashtra SET, and all those, all in a line. So I have a fair idea of all these exams. So yes, even I feel that CAT has its own beauty. I mean, it has a certain level. And if people think that after taking CAT, SNAP is going to be like absolutely easy, even that is not there. But then, yes, comparatively, people, what I always say is if you are preparing for CAT, you will be able to sit for SNAP with that preparation and some other topics that you need to throw in, like, some extra stuff. So
Absolutely,
that is what
ma'am.
I feel. Now, when I mention some other things that need to be thrown in, that brings me to the next question. See, for CAT, there is a list of topics. We know that, okay, these are important, like you both have taken CAT. Let me just give you this example of VARC. When I teach VARC, I tell my students not to run haphazardly after all the topics. Like whatever is there on the syllabus, para completion and odd one out. Okay, fine, you can get a fair idea of those topics, but then there's no point running after all of those because there is a certain weightage given to some topics. Like in CAT, RC gets the most weightage.
Most weightage.
Right. Then after that, you have short summaries and para jumbles and whatever. So वो बाद की बात है, बाद में आता है. So what I want to know is, are there any such topics in SNAP which get a lot of weightage? I mean, if a student is preparing for SNAP, should he focus on a certain list of topics more? What do you say?
So I'll go with logical reasoning wala part.
Okay.
So there are certain set of questions which are repeatedly asked if you have done some research. So there are blood relation problems, calendars, clock, number series, and there are certain set of questions which has been asked repeatedly. So and if you consider quants part, arithmetic is the golden ball for you if you want to crack SNAP. And for VARC, these are general parts of speech, figure of speech, essays, and parajumbles. So those are normal thing, I would say.
What about you, Saksha? What's your take on this point?
So ma'am, I would take quant section because that was something I was good. So in quant section, as Preetham said about the arithmetic maths, that is percentage, ratio, proportion, profit and loss. I think these are very easy to solve. Not easy to solve, but if a student has a very good grip, he can get very good marks. And then also I would say that in number system, we have the unit digit, how to find that unit digit, even that type of questions. and even modern maths as well. Modern maths, we have permutation and combinations, trigonometry, probability. I think these are some topics. If a student has a good grip, I think he can be very confident while giving exam.
Okay. Now, if I specifically talk about VARCC, we don't have any grammar in CAT. You both are aware of it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So even if you don't study any grammar, you can still crack CAT with a whopping percentile. Okay. But in SNAP, there is a lot of grammar that comes there, right? Grammar is there, then there is a lot of weightage given to your parajumbles. Parajumbles, jo ki like CAT mein thoda sa side ho jata hai. Yahan pe it gets a lot of weightage and the questions are pretty easy.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
yeah, say.
there are, I mean, vocabulary. Synonyms
yes.
and antonyms, it cover approx 5 marks, 5 to 6 marks.
Very true.
And grammar itself consists of 2 to 3 marks easily. So it's not that difficult, but then if you have a good grasp at it, you will easily excel on it.
So how good are you both at grammar? Let me start with Saksham first. Saksham, grammar sunte hi kaisa lagta hai?
I would rate myself of 7 out of 10, I would say. Like,
Oh, that is like, wow, 7 out of 10. तो फिर प्रीतम जिसका VARC बहुत strong है वो तो अपने आप को 11 out of 10 बोलेगा?
I wouldn't say it's a strong area. It's something that doesn't bore me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good, fine. No, I'm Saksham, that was like kind of, I was trying to pull your leg, but that's good to know. People don't have the guts to say 7 out of 10 in grammar. Grammar is generally the area which gives them palpitations. So when you took the SNAP, both of you, were you able to cope in grammar?
Yes, ma'am. We were able to cope because the only key to excel grammar is to just solve previous year's paper.
Okay.
The pattern is very similar.
Yes.
If you just get hands-on with what kind of similar questions have been asked by SNAP, you'll easily get the area which you need to cover. So it's very doable.
That's a very, very good point. And that is something which I keep reiterating in my classes, that there has to be a pattern check when we talk about SNAP. Because whether you talk about grammar or chalo vocab to ek wo hota hai, limitless hota hai. It's like kind of, you cannot decide which words are coming. But if you talk about grammar, definitely there are certain concepts. And if you master those concepts, the pattern is the same every year. So yes, that is one area taken care of. And I'm sure it's the same with logical reasoning ka jaisa aapne bola na ki blood relations and all, wo certain concepts hain jo wo aate hain. So yes, okay, yeah. Cool. All right. So this is what, okay, fine. So you have told me the important topics that kind of, that if a student kind of gets a good grasp of, he or she can sail through SNAP very easily.
Absolutely.
Okay, let me take you over to the next question now. We have discussed the easy level. We have discussed how different it is from CAT. Okay. Oh yes, that brings me to a very important question. Now, last year, it was introduced, this 3 windows wala thing, right? So they are giving 1 window in December and then 2 windows in Jan. This year, it's going to be on December 19th. That's the date. And then in Jan, pata maine kaise yaad rakha dates, I'll tell you. Jan mein 8th and 16th, double uska ho jata. This is how I've remembered the dates. And see, I'm right. So December 19th and Jan 8th and 16th. So these are the 3 windows. Okay. During our conversation, you already said that these 3 windows are advantageous to aspirants. Okay. And it was good for you also because then you realize, oh, okay, in my first attempt, kisme mujhe problem hui thi, so I can probably come around and kind of get down to doing those things. Ye aapko samajh mein aa jata hai. Okay. So this particular system, this particular thing of 3 windows, how does it make SNAP very different from other exams?
Saksham, would you like to take this?
Yeah, I will start with. So I will say my personal experience. So the thing was, I gave the first attempt in the December window.
Okay.
So in December window, I gave, and I realized that there are some topics I'm not very good with it. Like I would say, like the clocks and calendars topic, even in VARC, the figure of speech, I was not very confident about the answer, so I leave because it is a negative marking. So these were some things that I was able to overcome in my second attempt. and even because we already said about it is a very 60 minutes, 60 questions, the time is very less for each question. So I think I could plan my strategy like for the next attempt as well accordingly, because I was giving mocks. I was like, some questions were coming and I was like ignoring ki, okay, let's see what will come in exam. But in the actual exam, I realized in the December attempt, yes, there's some things that I could have worked more on. And that was, I was able to improve in my second attempt. So I think that this is a one really good advantage of having a two window exam.
Okay, now I would like to ask something over there. You said that your first attempt was in December.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then you took the second one in Jan.
Right.
So would you advise students to go for the first one in December, or what if a student is planning both the windows in Jan because उसको ये लगता है कि अभी तो हमने CAT दिया है, like 28th 29th November कोई date होता है हर साल, so अभी तो हमने CAT दिया है and like अभी तो पसीना सूखा भी नहीं है, and then I start taking SNAP और IFT तो वैसे ही सर पे खड़ा रहता है. So this is what students feel कि CAT दे के निकले नहीं है कि IFT आ जाता है. Right? And then after that, like 19th December, agar bola jaye to SNAP hai. So how would you justify that? That okay, abhi December mein hi pehla window should be taken instead of taking two in January. Please help me with that point.
Yeah,
So-
Pritam, you can take
I
it
mean,
on.
you can base it on your personal experience once again, but please justify that point.
Yeah, so according to me, ma'am, I would suggest every aspirants to go for first attempt, because you will get an idea the level of difficulty the SNAP is having. You never know. Like for me, the last attempt was very difficult. Like the first one was the easiest one. Though I mean, it depends on person to person. But then for me, the last attempt was very difficult and I couldn't score that much in the last part, but I was able to score good in first. So that I was able to manage good percentile in the first attempt itself. So I would suggest that go for the first attempt. You will have a gist that where are you lacking and what is the difficulty level, and then you can plan accordingly. And what differentiates SNAP with other exams is basically you have another chance to improve yourself. While once you give CAT, you don't have any other options to reattempt it, right?
Very true,
So,
very true.
yeah,
But
that's
now
it.
you just said one point. You said that when you went for the second attempt, that was very difficult for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was your second window or the third one?
Third window. I didn't
Third
attempt for
window,
the
right.
second window.
Right. So that is what I'm trying to drive home. मुझे क्या पूछना है यहाँ पे कि अभी तो it's just been 1 year that SNAP started this system. Do you feel it's going to be something of this sort कि पहला window is going to be easy and then second one is like a little difficult, and maybe people who go for the third one are going to be totally in a pit? Is it something of this sort?
No, ma'am.
Totally your opinion on it.
I don't think so. It's something like that. SNAP is very unpredictable, to be very honest. In
Okay.
certain areas, it is very unpredictable, but then there are certain areas which is very, I mean, we can predict very well, but then you never know. But if I would suggest that go for first attempt this year, you might face that this is very difficult. But then you never know, I would say. I mean, it all depends on luck, to be honest, whether you go for first window, second window, or third window. If you are very well prepared, no matter what window, you will excel through it.
All right, so that has nothing to do with that. Okay, fine. Well, that was just an idea that popped into my head. So मैंने सोचा experts बैठे हैं यहाँ पे, इन दोनों से पूछ लेती हूँ मैं, what is your gut feel about it? Anyway, अच्छा Saksham, you tell me now, what was your preparation like? The journey, I mean, see, you last year you took the CAT last year only, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you must have all along prepared for CAT, and then after that you appeared for SNAP. So how did you go about preparing it? कैसे आपने manage किया दोनों तीनों exams को जो भी आपने handle किया?
So, ma'am, obviously the preparation was already going on from in the pandemic. It was going, so that it was all online only. So, so the thing was, it is very important to solve mocks. Mock tests are very important, be it for CAT or be it for SNAP. Like SNAP, too, especially because it is time constrained. There's so much time constrained, and you have to like give specific time for specific question, and to select the right set of questions. It is very important because they intentionally put some questions which take a lot of time. Like some question can take your 3 to 4 minutes, and they want to like some children will get confused in that aspirant. So I think that is very important, that you have to select the right set of questions. And time management obviously is very important for Snap, so I would say very, very important. So I was solving like a lot of Snap series from different sets of means this platforms, even from N Academy. And even I was going through this year as well. This year N Academy has All India mock test series. So I think that is very close to Snap. So that would be my strategy, that how I did it in last year.
So actually, it was unfortunate that when you were preparing, there was no AIMT. And I mean, that could have kind of helped you a little bit further, but anyway, वो help करे या ना करे, आपने तो वैसे ही crack कर लिया, so क्या बोलूं मैं उस चीज को? Okay, but anyway, since he mentioned AIMT, I would like to further add to that point by saying that yes, these days we at an academy have something that is kind of making waves. That is AIMT, All India Mock Test. And these tests are actually very crisp, very good, and very close to the actual exams. So aspirants out there, if you're really looking for some good mocks, please go for AIMT. And there are like certain dates. So you can check on our website, and definitely you will do well in these mocks because, as I said, they are very, very close. All right, back to you, Saksham. So AIMT ka aapne bola, and you said you were taking mocks, and you said time management is extremely important. Yes, and you spruced up your preparation with the help of mocks, right? Yes, and what else? Anything else that you would like to add?
I think that is it. I think if Preetham wants to add.
Yeah, Preetham? Sure. So my strategy for Snap was completely different from CAT. So my basics were clear while I was giving for CAT. So I didn't focus much on other stuff, knowing new stuff. I basically focuses on mock test as much as possible. I mean, I solved approximately 20 to 25 mocks of different platforms. And the beauty of giving mocks is that you know which area you want to do it first and which area you want to avoid it. Right. As Saksham said very easily, that Snap will trick you for sure. You will say, okay, ये तो आता है मेरे को, मैं आराम से कर लूँगा. But then that question will consume around 3 to 4 minutes of yours. I'm sure you will be able to do it, but then that's where Snap will trick you. Right. So this mocks will give you an idea which questions you should leave and which questions you should attempt. Okay. And one more thing I would like to add is that while giving mocks, don't a lot of aspirants focuses on scores, mock scores, and they get demotivated through it. That मेरे को तो नहीं आ रहा percentile, what should I do? So take it as a learning. Mocks and actual exams are completely different. The D-Day, you have to be very calm, composed, and not think of anything else, and just focuses on those 60 minutes. And I would suggest that just give mocks as much as possible. Clear your basics first, and then try to attempt mocks. That will be my strategy. You said something about staying calm, right? Which is the actual mantra if you want to crack exams with A+. So that means you are somebody who can stay calm in an exam. You don't have exam phobia, Preetham. I wouldn't say I don't have exam phobia, but then I know how to calm myself. How? Share it with us. I think it depends person to person. For me, I write poem. Okay. It could be for Saksham, it could be playing football. That calms his mind. Very good. It depends person to person. But then I was not wrong in choosing these two dudes for this. I mean, they are just echoing my points. ऐसा लग रहा मैं बैठ करके क्लास में समझा रही थी, but this is absolutely brilliant. Because absolutely fun, yes. I have seen students panicking in the exams, yes. And that won't help you. I mean, that will never help you. You have to be calm. अच्छा एक question नहीं आया, okay, next. नहीं आ रहा, next. Right. So you should be calm. That's it. So Saksham, what calms you down?
I think that would be watching some football match that is going on any sports channel, right. or even having a walk around my lawn, garden, any means just outdoor activity also.
Very true, very true, very true. So guys, all the audience out there, see, this is exactly what even I say. It differs from person to person. The calming effect can be from anything. I mean, for me, it's like either reading something or watching something nice on Netflix or Prime. For half an hour, 45 minutes, I go back to my element. It can even be a visit to the salon for girls out there. You know, it can be just anything. For boys, it can be just sitting anywhere. It can be going and standing at a chai joint with a group of friends. It can be just anything, something that helps calm you down. And that is extremely important, as these two boys said, because if you are not able to control your frazzled nerves in the exam hall while you have the screen in front of you, you are just going to freak out, and that is not going to help you with your exam. जो आता है ना, वो भी भूल जाएंगे. Right? So that was, yes, so good. You both said that. Yes, great. Now, okay, so we have understood a little bit about your preparation strategy and how you both went about SNAP. Let me take you over to the last bit. And it has been there on my mind right from the first statement. That was like something about GE, PI, and VAT. Because I remember Preetham had said that there is no cutoff. So if there is no cutoff, obviously they focus more on GE, PI, VAT, and all. And so, like, see, if an aspirant is targeting SNAP, when and how should he prepare for GEPI VAT, or like what exactly is needed in order to kind of bring yourself up to that level? Throw some light on it, Preetham.
Yeah. So as I said, that SNAP scores are scaled down to 50, and another 50 is a combination of GE, PI, and VAT, where VAT is 10%, GE 20, and PI 20. So that sums up to 100%. So for GE, I would suggest that you no need to prepare extra for that. Just read, just stay up to date, be up to date with the current affairs stuff.
But what kind of group exercises do you have? Just give us a simple example to elucidate your point.
Yeah, so for me, that there was shown some pictures to our group, and we have to come up with a team and present to it. I mean, what do you see? I mean, there were certain pictures, and then as a group, what can you portray from that picture? We have to show the interviewer that as a group.
So what, you have to come up with a story?
Yeah.
Okay.
So interviewer will check how spontaneous and how creative you are.
How spontaneous, how creative, and how cohesive the team is. I guess that is also very important. I mean, if people are going with their own different ways and they don't wish to see eye to eye, तो वहाँ पे problem हो जाएगी. So yes, how spontaneous, how creative, and how cohesive as a team you can be. So what Preetham says over here is, like, for these group exercises, you just need to kind of stay abreast of all that's happening around you. Just kind of keep reading, just keep watching a lot of things, keep listening to interviews, keep listening to podcasts. I mean, if there are things running on your mind, you will be able to see some pictures and you will be able to connect them in a jiffy. Like, kuch na kuch to ban hi jayega. Right, Preetham?
Yes, it was easy for me because, ma'am, I was preparing for defense as SSB.
Yes,
so,
SSB, right.
In that we have this PPDT test where they will show 30 seconds. So I was pretty much, confident in this part.
Right.
I think Saksham would say about VAT and PI. I mean, if you would.
Saksham, before you move on to VAT and PI, I would just like to know what your group exercise was.
I think we were shown a video. That was a video round, and the same thing, like, then we were told to make a story with I guess 10 group members, So I think that was very important, like, because we didn't knew anyone, like, who takes the initiative to start first and all that. So I think these all things really matters. And in MBA, you need these type of qualities. So
yes, good, cool, good. Then after that, you can tell me something about VAT and PI.
So VAT doesn't have any specific topics. Like, the topics could range from very different, like from a commerce background or an engineering background. I think generally VAT has 2 topics, like 2 essays you have to write. So that would be around for 15 to 20 minutes, I think. So that would be, any topics can be there. So, but like, it should be like a very well structured, like how you structure your essays. So I think that really matters. So in VAT, I would say, yeah.
What happens if a student doesn't have specific knowledge of that particular topic? Let's say they give you something about any specific topic, so what do you do then if you don't have knowledge? Do you have choices, like 3 to 4 topics? You can pick any 2?
Yes, I think we had choices. So I think from that, obviously, like, we had 3 or 4 choices and we had to write on 2 topics. So I think that really, like if the topics you're comfortable with or you have a very good knowledge, so that you can, because these topics I already said that these are from very different backgrounds. Like one is from commerce, one is from engineering, and one is from very specific engineering something like related to artificial intelligence, or could be any topic. So I think if a student is comfortable, like he or she should be like writing a very well structured essay about that, or like that way. So
Okay, cool. And what about PI?
PI, then obviously the personal interaction, that is very like a very crucial element, because in the weightage part it has the maximum in it. So like it is around 30% and other are 10%. So I think in personal interaction you should like just be yourself, and because everything that you have already done in your previous years, that is all about this normal interaction only with the faculties and all that. So I think that is one
So
important
how
thing.
many people are generally there on the panel when you have this personal interaction
In our case, there were two faculties that were in the panel. So, and it was a normal interaction about the things happening, what we did, and about our background, even what we studied in our college, about the work experience if anyone had.
thing?
So it was like a very normal conversation. So
So in personal interaction, what is that one thing that they look for?
I think how good are you with like they give you some situational questions as well, some very situation wise, and how good are you able to frame a question answer for that in
You
that
mean you
specific
mean how well a student is able to express himself?
yeah,
That is
right,
what you're
right,
saying,
right.
right?
Yeah, that is
Okay.
very important, because in MBA, because these things really matters, because we have to give presentations, the project, about the team gatherings, how we interact with the team, like with people which we don't know, or are from very different backgrounds, how comfortable are we with them. So I think these things really matter, and these things are something that they really look in during interviews.
Right. That's very true. So
Uh,
guys, yes, say,
can I
please,
add
Preetham.
something, ma'am?
Oh, definitely.
So
Pleasure.
yeah, that's the beauty of SIU. We call it as GE, not GD, and we call it as personal interaction and not
Interaction, not
personal
personal interview.
interview. So it's
Yes.
more of a fun base. Don't look it at as a, interview or GD. You will get a chance. Everybody get chance to prove themselves, and that's the beauty of a SNAP exam.
Yes, even I was enchanted when I heard them say the group exercise, the GE thing, because abhi to khair GD is passe. Most of the institutes are doing away with GD, but GD जब मैं conduct भी करवाती थी ना, like अपने students के लिए and all, तो I always found कि GD में some people are screaming, some people are like kind of not able to speak. So like इसमें कैसे? How are you going to help them balance? कुछ लोग judge हो पाते हैं, कुछ लोग नहीं हो पाते. But this group exercise thing is quite nice actually, because it's how you work in a group. And if you are doing an exercise in a group, let's say you appoint a leader at that moment, right, that moment for that particular thing, even then you all have to work together and each person has to contribute to that particular exercise. So I feel this is much more fun. And yes, the personal interaction thing, as you said, instead of taking the interview as like something very serious and kind of feeling like as if you're on tenterhooks, it's, I mean, I think it sounds more fun. You're given situational things like, okay,
Yeah,
situational mein, I guess is tarah ka kuch hoga ki tell us a situation or tell us a case when you displayed leadership, or tell us a case when you were like able to take a decision on the spot. Kuch is tarah ka hota hoga, I'm sure.
exactly, ma'am.
Right. So
Exactly.
yes. So basically, what these two boys are saying is that if you are finally going to sit for GE and PI-WAT and all, you need to stay updated and you need to be expressive. You need to be able to recall certain incidents when you have displayed those characteristics, let's say leadership or group, how you work in a group if you're a group member or not, or if you like kind of took a decision on the spot. So be prepared with these things. And that brings me to one very important point: know yourself. I'm saying this because these days, an academy has come up with a new segment, that is placement. Placement, it's kind of, placement for IT companies. And we are targeting tier 3 colleges in that, and we are trying to hone the skills of those students. And that is exactly what I keep telling them: know yourself. Right from day one, know everything about yourself. Are you a team player? Are you a leader? Do you have that initiative taking skill? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? If you know yourselves well, you will be able to ace any kind of interaction or interview. Right, boys? Do you agree with me on that?
Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely. Absolutely. Know yourself and you will excel through it.
Yeah, so that brings me to the end of the question list. It's very sad actually. I've run out of questions.
Same,
And
ma'am.
pata hi nahi chala, pata kaise, like time ran out. We got so engrossed in the discussion and it was such a good thing. It was a pleasure having you both over here. We came to know a lot of things from you. And yes, as I had anticipated, you both are experts. You both know the ropes so well. I'm sure the points that you've given over here will be able to guide thousands of aspirants out there. Saksham and Preetham, before we call it a day, any last message that you would like to give out to the aspirants? Totally something from you. Okay, matlab kuch bhi, it can be anything. Any message?
I would just say that like give your best, do hard work, and don't worry about the results because it will be great. And we are looking for the upcoming aspirants to be part of SCIT. So
Okay, Preetham, over
Yeah.
to you.
I would say that don't compare yourself from others. If the other guys are scoring 99 percentile and you are scoring 80 percentile, that doesn't mean that you are not worth it to do MBA. So just be yourself and be confident and study hard, work hard. And we in SCIT are looking forward for the aspirants to join our institute. Thank you so much for having us, ma'am. And it was a pleasure giving interview.
Yeah, it was like really a good thing that you guys joined us over here. We got some good pearls of wisdom from you guys and the aspirants out there. In case you're planning to take SNAP, I'm sure you guys are planning to take SNAP. So you can just keep SCIT on your list of good colleges because SCIT is the place where these two boys are right now. And you can see the way they are well groomed, the way they take care of everything, the way they stay abreast of all that's happening, the way, I mean, everything. Their personality speaks volumes about the place where they are studying right now. So you should keep that college on your list, guys. And who knows, you may get these over there as your seniors. So आप दोनों please ragging मत करना बाकी aspirants की, ठीक है?
Ragging is prohibited, ma'am, in SIU, so we won't
I
do
know.
that.
Chalo, okay, boys. Thank you so much for being there with us, and thank you for your precious time. आप दोनों में से किसी एक को कहीं जाना भी है, as I know.
It's Saksham.
yes, ma'am.
Saksham, where are you going?
I have a puja at my home.
Okay. So, boys, all the very best for your career. Shine, rise and shine wherever you are, and definitely you're going to be successful in whatever you do.
Thank you so
Okay.
much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
It
Thank
was a
you.
lovely session. Thank you. ma'am.
Thank you.
Unacademy. Let's crack it.